This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Welcome back to the show.
Take care, Polly Wally.
And the silence you hear is Lambeau Field.
Hello, you're on the air.
Well, hoop action.
You gotta be raping me.
It's PA 9 to noon on the Fan.
9 to noon.
Here we go, Paul. And he's
PA.
I'm here to serve you. Oh, please.
Oh, my. Wasn't that good?
Sorry, KFAN.
Thank you, Minneapolis.
I gotta turn this down, Bob.
Oh, well.
Oh, no!
Hashtag Faith Radio.
Let's go, everybody. Let's go. Good morning.
And good morning to you. And a happy hump day from 9 to noon.
Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things?
What?
Come on now, wake up.
Man, PA is silly, man.
What?
I know, right?
Thank you, Minneapolis.
Twins got the money last night.
Oh, no!
Hashtag Faith Radio.
1, 2, 3, and we don't need. Yes, we do. If only for the talkback machine at the free iHeartRadio app. Downloaded now. Find that baby microphone. Get into the Nordquist basement and just start slapping that bass like there ain't no tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
What in the ham fat is going on with you guys?
What?
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All righty. 9 to noon is in the air. Good morning. It's Paul Allen, Nordo by my side. Happy Wednesday to you. It's beautiful outside here in the cornfields. And it'll be a beautiful night for racing at Canterbury Park. We begin at 5 o'clock. And speaking of Canterbury, I have a friend at Canterbury Park named Brian. There's a chance Brian is listening right now. He works in the casino cage and with the chips for the poker players. This Brian is a wonderful young man He's very jovial. He's a 9 to noon devotee and even gets meat in a box from Thousand Hills.
Hey, you're not working today.
Well, I like hearing that, Brian. That's awesome.
It's unbelievable. Again, if you can make it, give me a call for lunch with the boys.
The boys, Nord, O'Brien, and the meat in a box from Thousand Hills. Don't you love that, the Nords?
Are you kidding me? I love it. Brian is invited anytime he wants over to the Nordquist Castle, and we will smoke some Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed grass-fed beef.
Always.
On the old Anchor.
It'll be a terrific moment. Got Brian, got Nordo, got yours truly, and a special guest joining us.
Judy Eby.
Now, with my Canterbury friend, Brian, his favorite part of this real estate are the Florio segments. So we figured we'd drop this little whatever it is in before Mike Florio joins about 9:40 Cornfields. Casino Cage Brian, a wonderful young man. Emphasis on words, young man. Maybe 16 to 20 years younger than yours truly. Pretty close to the Nordquist age.
Okay.
Now, Brian is a tall, bigger man. Casino Cage Brian is a tall, bigger man. So, let's go back last week. Yours truly rolls in to call the 4th of July 7, as we call it in the business, the 4th of July races at Canterbury Park. And a smidge later than normal, because July 3rd fireworks went late, and they were stupendous. So we're slow rolling this thing on 4th of July. Also, there was a Friday morning lawn mow in the humidity. That generally, when you do that sets old people back a good 45 minutes.
Down memory lane we go.
So I was rolling in a little late on the 4th of July. So back to Brian. I'm rolling into the employee lot, and he's walking in, and I slow down in the Metropolitan Ford Edge and say, all right, now they can start, right? It's the announcer and his heavy. Brian, like, what? It's the announcer and his heavy.
Oh my gosh.
So then I drive to my spot, and then I start wondering if that young man's generation understands the old school term heavy. The announcer and his heavy, as in his bodyguard, his personal protector, or did he think I just called him fat?
Oh my gosh. Above average at that.
No, I care because, I care, man, because I care about Casino Cage Brian.
Yeah.
And I'm a little late. I don't know if he's late, but then I'm like, all right, Canterbury can start now. Here comes the announcer and his heavy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, well, he knew I didn't call him fat. All right, he understood.
Okay, good.
But they all don't. Which caused me to think of some old school phrases that still are popular and or understood now, or old school stuff that no longer is in play at all. So like if you and I were to head somewhere and somebody's like, hey, PA, how about them Queens? We chat a little bit. And then I'm like, this is Nordo. He's my heavy. You would understand that, right?
No, I would. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be the muscle in this equation. Not that I portray myself as such, but
the muscle's the right descriptor, not the heavy.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from. Now, I do have the pillow top as well. Maybe I could lose 5 or 10.
What do you mean?
So I would secretly resent you for that because that's just what my generation does.
Mm-hmm.
A little fluffy. It's a little husky. Still working off some baby fat at age 40.
All right. Well,
so it'd be tough. But yeah, no. In this particular case, I would know that you meant that I was the muscle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Brian was my heavy. He was my muscle. We were joking around. He understood, but they all don't. Okay, so therefore that triggered me to think about some things that, like, I don't necessarily use a lot of these old school phrases that have found a way to stand the test of time, but a lot of new schoolers, I'd say 20s, 30s, early 40s, may have heard of some of these, but they don't exactly know what they are. For instance, the term in like Flynn. In like Flynn. What do you think in like Flynn means, the con?
Well, I think it's, and I don't know why I know this, but Errol Flynn.
Are you kidding me?
Was kind of this swashbuckling.
Bro, you nailed it.
Kind of a suave and debonair. This is decades ago. Like, we're talking like Danielle Steele novel type of stuff.
Errol Flynn, actor, considered quite dashing and debonair. It's a phrase from the 40s, in like Flynn, because he was like the original member of the Captain Cool Covenant.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted to be next to him. Everybody wanted to be with him. And everybody wanted to be his heavy and or his muscle. So therefore, if something went really well and maybe there was some consternation into it, yet you got the money, you got the job, things went well, you were in like Flynn. But like nobody says that anymore, right?
No, I haven't heard that in years.
Mother, how do you think you knew that?
I have no idea.
What about to 86 something?
Oh, you just nix it. It's out.
Damn, bro.
Sexed out.
Got all these.
Well, I'm not that much younger than you. I mean, you're what? You're 55.
5'9".
Ooh, 5'9". Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you look younger. How about that?
You're 46. Thank
Correct,
you.
yes.
See, it happened.
But 86, yeah, I've heard that a bunch.
The phrase, all right, kids, this is kind of a 9 to noon tutorial. If you're interested in jettisoning the age of cap and sus and fire, lit. Cap. Like, that's no cap. You know what that means, right?
I do, but I don't get it.
Right. And nobody in the world is going to get it or say it in 5 years. So therefore, I
hope so.
I don't believe it'll stand the test of time. Like something that originated in the 40s, 9 to noon is in like Flynn. And here we are, year of our Lord, 2025. And you got the 40-year-old understanding what the 59-year-old is delivering with in like Flynn. Why? Because it was clever and it stood the test of time, correct?
Correct.
So if you want 86 something, like Nordo said, it originated in the restaurant and bar industry, likely around the 1930s, and generally means to get rid of something or refuse service to or indicate that an item no longer is available. So while in exact etymology, it's debated, it's very controversial what to 86 something means. The most common theory links it to rhyming with the slang utilization of what Nordo said, to nick something. Man,
I always wonder that stuff.
Bro,
how
you're
do you
2 for 2?
How do you pick numbers? I mean, in that particular, like, could I 74 something?
That's a great point.
Could I fit? But apparently, it's because of the rhyme. It's because of the
86.
86.
It can't be 76. It was Spirit of 76.
Yeah, that's true.
66. I mean,
96.
Why 86?
Route 66.
I mean, Route 66. Nat King Cole. 56. Garrett Bradbury. Can't use that one. By the way, talkbacks, if you're so inclined, old school popular terms, cliches, descriptors, one-liners. We no longer hear or people don't get, or perhaps I'm not looking at this the right way. And some of these things are still quite popular. Free iHeartRadio app, baby microphone, 30 seconds. It's talk back. It's not talk with. So do your thing. In fact, let's fade the music and fire up 9 to noon and marathon this bad boy for Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com, because today is the final day of Steve's 4th of July sale, and it's the sale of all sales ever to sale. Extra manufacturer rebates, though. Shop online or at the Mounds View showroom and save thousands of dollars on appliances. Go say hello to Brian, Sarah, and the gang, and remind them they are salt of the earth. Salt of the earth. Then get fast delivery, free recycling, and guaranteed low prices on the appliances of your choice. 9 to noon marathons. The 9 to noon marathons are the property of Steve's Appliances, and we thank them for their assistance. Don't we thank them for their assistance, Mr. Khan?
Sarah specifically is the one that I interacted with at Steve's. New washer and dryer. Dryer sounded like starting a Harley in the mudroom. I was in a tough spot. Wife's dealing with health stuff. I'm stuck at home with 3 kids. Needed to clean some clothes. And Steve's Appliances showed up, and they were absolutely fantastic start to finish.
All right, so say a team late in the Viking season isn't very good, and the Friday before the game, we learn of a bunch of key injuries and tumult within the doors of the adversarial covenant.
Uh-oh.
Why does he talk like that, Billy Christie, Johnny, Susie, Antoine, and Tamika? I don't know. He's talked like that for a long time. Just follow along, kids. So a team late in the Viking season isn't very good, and days before the game, the team and everybody learns of a bunch of massive injuries and negativity within the doors of the adversarial covenant. I'd look at the game. I'd look at that game as, well, boys, looks like the Vikes are in like Flynn this Sunday at Lambeau, but not many would get it. So it's dead. Thus, we share it 9 to noon, and we share it amongst ourselves. I think the Vikings are in like Flynn this weekend. Kevin and Bill O'Connell. So do people still encourage, here's another one, do people still encourage stage performers before they head out to perform by uttering, all right, break a leg? I always love that one. I've never really understood that one.
I don't get that one at all.
Well, we hit the Google machine yesterday, and this piece of context emerges. It's break a leg. Its origins are unclear. But several theories... Why are you laughing?
These 4-day work weeks are hard.
It's ridiculous. I'm at the midway point right now. It feels like I've worked all of April and May. And we're talking about in like Flynn. Are you kidding me? So I hit the Google machine, and this piece of context came up that the origin of break a leg is unclear. But several theories exist, most rooted in theater superstition. One common theory suggests that saying good luck to performers is considered bad luck. Who knew? You say good luck to somebody, and those of the theater variety consider it bad luck.
So the reverse psychology angle of sorts?
Yeah, that's so break a leg is used as a counterintuitive wish for success. Another theory connects it to the idea of actors bowing or taking many a curtain call, potentially leading to a broken leg due to the physical strain. I always love that one. I mean, break a leg is so stupid.
So weird.
It's like you walk out there, all right, break a leg. Why?
Well, and
I don't want to break a leg.
In the same sense, I mean, I get why, but you say break a leg, someone would be like, all right, that means good luck. But if you go, I hope you fail miserably, that doesn't sound right.
Thank you.
But break a leg somehow is positive.
Nobody ever says close but no cigar. I always love that one. Have you ever heard that one?
I have, yeah.
Do you ever use it?
I have used it.
Really? Do you know what it means?
I assume that the cigar would be the celebration of a victory of some sort. I don't know if it's Breeders' Cup cigar.
Keep going. You're very close, the Connie.
But it would be you're close, but you don't get the spoils of your effort.
Right. So you need an A to get whatever grade point average and whatever degree, and you come up with a B plus, and some snarky rube next to you says, that's close but no cigar. I always love that one.
Is it Breeders' Cup cigar?
3 furlongs to go. Cigar! Cigar! And Cigar makes his move. And Jerry Bailey's calling on him for everything he has. Close but no cigar. That one takes us back to the 1800s. Close but no cigar goes back to the 1800s. You'd hear this phrase if you were a loser at the carnival. Common prizes back then were cigars, so a smug carny would use the phrase on you if you were close to winning, but still lost and didn't get a prize.
Hold on a second.
Smug carny's like, close, but no cigar.
Hold on a second. I'm taking Ava and Stella to the ring toss.
Yeah.
we might come home with a cohiba as part of that. Hey, Get them started early, I suppose.
Close but no cigar, man. How about get off your high horse?
Oh,
all right, that's an old school phrase that people still say now. People these days may say that, but really have no idea the origin of its meaning, which is fine because it's mostly self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Get off your high horse. You research it, and we learned about a century ago, cars weren't always around, and horses were used to be the best form of transportation. Owning a horse was a sign.
So this is like before Tesla.
Yes. Before,
okay.
And even before those circular slash signs that you see on some Teslas, and I don't really understand what they mean. Actually, I do, but I don't understand why they're on there. So before
self-loathing,
before cars, hey, sticker people, get off your high horse. I mean, the whole thing's close but no cigar, man. All we want to do is be in like Flynn. All right, 3-2. Owning a horse was a sign that you were part of the upper class. The phrase, get off your high horse, is asking the uppity horse owner to jump off their horse, humble themselves, and lose the entitlement.
So would this mean that the more financially inclined individuals back then would ride horses, steeds, thoroughbreds? This may be Sport of Kings days.
Yes.
And the less economically fortuned people,
donkeys,
asses, tough times,
right?
Eeyores.
And then you got the smug carney who wants to remind you that you're on a donkey, and the person who started the carnival is not on a donkey. So, like, he'd look at your bottom line and be like, well, you almost had yourself a horse, but instead you got a donkey, man. You were close, but no cigar.
You know how tough it would have had to be to come home and tell your kids that you couldn't knock the milk jugs down to win them a cigar and a bottle of whiskey. What an awful day that would be at the carnival.
Close, but no cigar, see? So get off your high horse. Do you say this? Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, it's little. It's nothing.
What do you think it means?
I know what it means and how, it's
how to use it.
Yeah, no big deal. I don't know the origins of it though.
Mm-hmm. The phrase has one of the oldest origin stories of all we're discussing right now.
You gotta be paping me.
Originally seen. It's either papyrus or in stone, something like that.
Okay.
It was originally seen in 77 A.D. Take it with a grain of salt.
Jeez.
The phrase wasn't made popular until the 17th century. It was thought that a grain of salt would help with digestion and also could be an effective antidote for poison. Nowadays, the phrase means to avoid taking everything literally, or approaching all things with skepticism. Come on, man.
So it's even changed meaning over the course of time.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Hell yes!
Yeah, it really has changed meaning. Salt of the earth. This salt of the earth. I mean, this potentially is the oldest of the old ever to old. This goes back, salt of the earth, that phrase that I use a lot. And a lot of people say something is salt of the earth, a person is salt of the earth. This goes back more than 2,000 years. It's biblical. It goes to the Gospel of Matthew in the Bible's New Testament, specifically at Jesus' Sermon on the Mount in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13, when he tells his followers, you are salt of the earth. In that context, salt was a valuable commodity used for flavoring and preserving food and was seen as essential. Therefore, comparing people to salt implied they were valuable, good, and essential. Or consider it this way. Consider it this way from a biblical standpoint to 2025. You are salt of the earth. You, Christians, are salt, preserving what's good of the earth. Our world is in decay. To me, Nordo is salt of the earth. Valuable, good, Essential.
You gotta be vaping me.
Nordo, salt of the earth.
That's unbelievable.
That's one of the nicest things anyone said to me.
That actually, as I go in my life, that's like the best compliment I could give somebody, if anybody cares. Talkbacks, if a phrase hits you that, I don't know, no longer is used or used that much, or you're wondering why or what its origin is, free iHeartRadio app, baby microphone, 30 seconds, talk back, not talk with. How about this one? You look so good. You are dressed to the nines.
What in the hell are you doing?
Dressed to the nines. What do you know about that one?
It's another one where I would say that if someone is just absolutely immaculately dressed, that they look terrific.
Right.
But I don't know what to the nines, where that comes from.
In the 18th century, if you wanted a suit, then you had to have one made. All right. So suits weren't readily available in the 18th century. You had to have one made. Dressed to the nines refers to the 9 yards of fabric it took to make a whole suit, including the vest and jacket. Today, it just means someone is dressed really fancy. Wasn't that neat?
Yeah.
9 yards of fabric. What about this? Time to face the music. Nordo? It's time to face the music. These 4-day work weeks are taxing. I need you to control 6 segments tomorrow. It's time to face the music. We've heard that one, right?
Yeah, of course we've heard it. Again, this with all of these, like, and whether it's face the music, it's like you kind of got to own up to a situation, hear the truth, and wherever it comes from. I have no idea. Like, look a gift horse in the mouth.
Ooh, I should have looked that one up.
I don't know why. I mean, I understand the idea of it.
Gift horse in the mouth.
Don't take for granted a particular thing, or don't judge something that you receive.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. Hey.
Well, now we're just mixing them up. But my point, like, I don't understand, like, gift horse.
Yes.
Like, why is horse a part of that saying? I don't understand the origin of any of these things. I just shoot from the lip and say them.
Yeah, shoot from the lip. There's another one. There are so many that so many either don't say or do say, and they don't know what they mean. The time to face the music, that term has been in like Flynn for more than 40 years, 400 years, that is, and does not need to be 86th. And perhaps the generator of said phrase is Salt of the Earth, who is just dazzling and dressed to the nines. So it's time to face the music. This is actually an old military term. Back in the early American colonial era, think like early 1600s, disgraced military officers had to face a drum line when they were discharged, while the bad officers literally were facing the music. Today, it means to face the consequences of our actions.
Oh my gosh.
It's military in origin.
It's heavy.
So you're a disgraced member of the military, and as you're being discharged, you had to walk alongside a drum line that might have been playing taps. Kids, college kids home on break, be the ones who will bring these back into existence. Let's 86 no cap, sus and lit.
Yeah.
And replace them with the old school equity and phrases that stand the test of time. Ain't nobody going to be saying cap, no cap, cap, no cap in 5 years. And truly, that's no cap.
I hope not.
Instead, so how'd you do on the test? Crushed it. I'm in like Flynn.
I always love that one.
Again, maybe some talkbacks with old school, rarely used phrases that describe, hey, how about this? Why don't we take some rarely used old school phrases, maybe some we delivered, some you're thinking of right now, and describe the Vikings or a local sports team. For some, it could be, if a tree fell in the forest and nobody heard, did it really fall?
I always love that one.
It's your choice for which team you want to tie. That one, too. For others, it might be like, I'd like a carbon copy of the 09 Viking season, one where we constantly put our best foot forward, win games just in the nick of time, And when we lose, well, we just bite the bullet.
I always love that one.
I mean, that right there, that was just a bevy. That's a bevy off which to play. Talkbacks, free iHeartRadio app.
How about this one from a texter? Mind your P's and Q's is an old Irish term that bartenders would say to unruly patrons. Mind your pints and quarts.
Oh, that's on.
Late.
That's covenant claps, man. Stop being selfish. Hey, that's covenant claps for the texter. 64686. Texting 64686. Talkbacks. I mean, seriously, talkbacks or texts if you're so inclined. That would be dope and on fleek and would push the limits of what's fire.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you, TimberTech. Thank you, TimberTech.com. It's part of What's on Deck 9 to noon, which includes Mike Florio about 9:40. And we celebrate Minnesota Vikings immortality, 11 o'clock. A man named Dennis Ryan, at one time the youngest equipment manager in the history of the National Football League, and a few years ago he retired after 47 years running the Minnesota Vikings equipment department. And he recently was part of the Excellence, the Awards of Excellence group that went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Think Lane Kiffin, 9 to noon last year, talking about his father, Monty. Think Bud Grant a few years ago, several years ago, talking about Fred Zamberletti, and so on and so on. D. Ryan joins at about 11, and we're going to call Pete Bursich, who I believe is in Chicago. And he's going to join the conversation because he and Dennis are quite close. And Pete was a player, coach, and broadcaster during the Dennis Ryan era. That's all part of the 9 to noon radio show today. The celebration of excellence takes place at 11 o'clock. Right now it's 9:30. Nordo has the cash thing. Then we got a truncated Vike Bites, then Florio, and then just a ton of fun today, 9 to noon. Good morning.
Good morning, the fan and BigDeck.com. Want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Go to KFAN.com. Use the keyword PAY. P-A-Y. That's the keyword. You might win $1,000 with the keyword PAY at KFAN.com.
Hot days, humid nights, and non-stop plans. All that heat can increase hair shedding, while a packed schedule can add stress, which can impact your hair. Nutrafol's whole-body approach and clinically tested formulas support your hair from within, so you can focus on living your best life all summer long.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages, such as postpartum or menopause, and lifestyle factors, such as a plant-based lifestyle, so you can get just what you need. Plus, users of Nutrafol men reported no impact to sexual performance.
Thank goodness. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In a clinical study, 84% of men showed improvement in their hair after 6 months taking Nutrafol Men Hair Growth Supplement, and 90% of women saw overall improvement in their hair after taking Nutrafol Women Hair Growth Supplement for 6 months.
Building a hair growth routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed. Enjoy free shipping, automated deliveries, and up to 20% savings with Nutrafol subscription. Plus, get free naturopathic doctor consults and a Headspace meditation membership.
Start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering listeners $10 off your first month subscription. Free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. Enter promo code Culturistas.
Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. Spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code Culturistas. That's Nutrafol.com. Promo code Culturistas.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust & Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust & Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there are lots of places that also have it, and they might not be as careful as you are. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will help solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed or your money back. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. You might not be able to control how others handle your personal information, but you can help protect it with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code iHeart or go to lifelock.com/iHeart for 40% off. Terms apply.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? Business software is expensive. And when you buy software from lots of different companies, it's not only expensive, it gets confusing, slow to use, hard to integrate. Odoo solves that because all Odoo software is connected on a single affordable platform. Save money without missing out on the features you need. Odoo has no hidden costs and no limit on features or data. Odoo has over 60 apps available for any needs your business might have, all at no additional charge. Everything from websites to sales to inventory to accounting, all linked and talking to each other. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
You're listening to The Fan.
Vike Bites.
Welcome back, 9 to noon. It is time for Vike Bites.
Vike Bites.
Vike Bites is brought to you. You heard the commercial during the break. Matt Meyer and the Clearwater-based company, Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. So whether you're PA's Canterbury Heavy in Bryan, or you're me, or the thousands upon thousands of dedicated Thousand Hills customers, what you're getting is regenerative agriculture, nutrient-dense beef, elite products that you can have shipped to your doorstep. You can go to Coburn's, Kowalski's, and Co-ops as well. Proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics. But Vike's Bites, how about this guy having a resurgent season with a healthy offseason soon to be behind it?
Here we go. First down from the Rams 26. Darnold, shotgun again, four-man rush, straight drop. He's going to throw over the middle. Caught T.J. Hockenson at the 20. Heads to the left to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Vikings! T.J. Hawkinson's first 2024 touchdown takes place in 2025, and they needed it like they needed to breathe. It's a 26-yard touchdown, and it cuts the margin to 27-9 Rams.
So whether it's text or talkbacks PA and just trying, maybe using old sayings for new things like our favorite team or players on said teams, T.J. Hockenson, 41 catches, 455 yards, no scores during the regular season, the 9 games he played after returning from the knee injury at the hands of a Kirby Joseph-related hit. And he gets that singular touchdown. You heard it there in the Rams' playoff loss. Would you be feeling PA on cloud 9? On cloud 9, if T.J. Hockenson, following a fully healthy offseason, bounces back and returns to that athletic playmaking option for J.J. McCarthy. By the way, the origin of the T.J. Hockenson making you feel on cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
Well, it's commonly linked to a classification of clouds used by the U.S. Weather Bureau in the 20th century. That's like last century, in case anyone's curious.
Honey. Where
cloud 9 referred to the cumulonimbus cloud, which is the highest and most impressive. So, PA, T.J. Hockenson, healthy offseason, back together again. We're back! Alec Lewis will be posting on X very soon. If we're back, if T.J. Hockenson is back and ready to rock in 2025, would that have you feeling at times on cloud 9?
There are many out there in the National Football League who looked at T.J. Hawkinson's statistical wherewithal or lack thereof and wondered if he's lost his edge. Those rumors and murmurs made it to the former Iowa Hawkeye tight end, and his response was,
"And I will have my vengeance in this life or the next."
Well, this life is the next, is the 2025 season. TJ's bigger. I've said this before. Built up his arms, upper body's bigger, stronger. Not exactly sure what the meaning is behind that, but we soon will find out. A month from Saturday, when the Vikings have their first preseason game against the Houston Texans, I'm sure TJ will play a lot. I'm sure he'll be on the sidelines wearing a short sleeve shirt so you can see those arms. TJ is a vital part of this offense because of what he draws defensively with safeties and linebackers, and that further opens things potentially for Jets. Justin Jefferson. Jets.
Vike's Bites.
Jets, though.
Has this guy created a new standard for himself?
And here comes Daniel Jones, 12 of 22 for 111 yards. Vikes lead 21-6. Jones. Oh, he threw it to Van Ginkel. Touchdown! That's the fourth touchdown in Andrew Van Ginkel's career. And he read Daniel Jones like a book, and that book had a happy ending. 27-6, Minnesota. Some people think Daniel Jones left the Covenant under his own volition and head to the Indianapolis Colts because he has a chance to beat Anthony Richardson for the starting job. That could be the truth. Or maybe the general manager's playing so fast he just wanted him off the ride.
Free agency never fails on the Quasey train.
Hey, Quasey train. Hey.
Free agency never fails on the Quasey train.
Mike Florio's next, ProFootballTalk.com, PFT. Yeah, you know we. That's around the corner on KFAN.
The last thing anyone wants is to leave behind confusion, stress, or worse, family conflict. That's why estate planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for families like mine, and probably like yours. With Trust and Will, I created my estate plan in minutes, from naming guardians for my kids to putting our house in a trust to avoid probate. Fast, affordable, and way easier than I thought. Every plan is designed by estate planning attorneys and customized for your state. Plans start at just $199 and include essentials like healthcare directives and power of attorney. With Trust and Will's bank-level security and built-in privacy protections, your personal information and your wishes stay safe. Whether you're newly married, raising kids, caring for aging parents, or just want peace of mind, Trust and Will makes it easy to protect what matters most. Go to trustandwill.com, use code RADIO at checkout, and save 20% on your personalized plan. Because there's no better time to protect the people you love. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there are lots of places that also have it, and they might not be as careful as you are. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will help solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed or your money back. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. You might not be able to control how others handle your personal information, but you can help protect it with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code iHeart or go to lifelock.com/iHeart for 40% off. Terms apply.
This is Jacob Goldstein from What's Your Problem? When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
Man.
The Mousy. Nobody better. Speaking of nobody better, here comes Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com and NBC's Football Night in America. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new book dropping next month. Michael has departed from the Father of Mine series to give us Big Shield. Big Shield arrives August 19th. It's a fictional tale of the mob and gambling and professional football, not the NFL, just professional football. And Mike joins us now. You can learn more about attaining the ebook or paperback right now by searching Big Shield on Amazon or head to ProFootballTalk.com. Mike, good morning. Very, very cool. This book looks terrific. What's juicy about Big Shield?
Well, again, it's not the National Football League. It's just professional football. Now, if coincidentally the fictional league that I've devised has teams in the same cities and or states as the NFL does, well, if you want to imagine in your own mind as you read the book that it happens to be those same teams, which may happen to have the same color schemes coincidentally, but not the logos, not the team names. I was very careful. No logos, no team names, no NFL references. But, you know, this is something that I've been thinking about ever since I realized or considered how legalized gambling, normalized gambling could infiltrate pro sports. We've seen scandals in other sports, and other sports are involved in this because one of the main characters is a mobster who handles athletes in various sports who provide inside information before and during games. So other leagues are involved. Again, fictional leagues, not the actual American sports leagues. But the idea is that this is how it could happen in the NFL, and it's so simple, it's so easy, and it would be so convenient for a player to just establish a relationship on a trip to Las Vegas, meets a guy, next thing you know, he's providing information, next thing you know, he's getting paid to provide the information, and it mushrooms from there, and then you can't get out of it, and you end up regretting it. So that's basically the gist of the story, and of course, there's more to it than that, and there's, you know, twists and turns and ups and downs, and it was fun to write, and I wanted to get it out there before the kind of scandal that I envision in this book actually happens.
Really?
Because I could see it's very plausible. The scenario I've laid out is very simple, it's very clean, it's very plausible and possible to happen in the National Football League.
So I probably should know the answer to this, or maybe you're just running a bit for the NFL, for the league offices who follow ProFootballTalk.com 15, 20 times a day. Why do you qualify so hard? Fiction about pro football, not the NFL, pro football. Why do you qualify that so hard?
Oh, because they have very clear copyright protections for their team names. And unless you are paying them and they approve what you're doing, they're not going to let you use Vikings. So Vikings are Minnesota. They're not going to let you use Raiders. Raiders have to be Las Vegas. They're not going to let you use Ravens. Ravens have to be Baltimore. And those are three of the teams that come up somewhat prominently. The Vikings less than the other two. It's mainly Raiders and Ravens. Las Vegas and Baltimore. but that's what it's all about. And, you know, if you've ever read North Dallas 40 by Peter Gent, who was a player for the Cowboys, he did the same thing. You just don't say Cowboys ever. You just say Dallas. And everybody knows, but you don't infringe on the copyright if you never flat out say NFL, National Football League, or the names of the teams. They have no copyright protection over the names of the cities or the states.
All right, so
PFT.
Fixed games in the NFL these days. I mean, it ain't happening, right? Because they all make too much money. Is that a fair way to look at it?
Well, I think it's too hard to fix the outcome of a game. even though, as the NFL feared, when it was opposed to gambling, and the commissioner said, if you normalize and have widespread legalized gambling, normal incidents of the game will be viewed by some as rigging of the game. I think the bigger concern is what kind of information is going to be provided to those who can do something with it, especially as it relates to the specific prop bets, the overs and unders for player yardage, the kind of thing we've seen in basketball, the Jonte Porter scandal, where he pulled himself out of games and there was unusual activity on his unders for points, rebounds, blocks, whatever. Well, if you pull yourself out of the game and you say, "Oh, my arm, it's broken," then the under hits, and that's a way that the system can be manipulated. It doesn't directly affect the outcome of a game. It doesn't rig a game, but it rigs part of the game, and it rigs part of the thing that people bet on, these prop bets, these individualized fantasy-style things. That's the thing to be concerned about. And also those who know, like knowing who's really injured, knowing the game plan. Somebody said to me once, a coach said, you know, if I've got 15 plays scripted out on the whiteboard to start the game, who sees that? And what do they do with that information? Does a person who comes in to empty the trash can see that on there? And do they call somebody they know? Because that's valuable information, and you could discern something from that and turn that into a commodity. There's so much of that information. And if we were in a stock market environment, it would be called material non-public information. There's so much inside information that currently isn't regulated in any way, shape, or form. I don't know how aggressive the NFL is in even imagining how these things could become a problem, and that's part of what I'm trying to do. So, like, on the surface, I think they're going to hate this book because it makes, you know, the NFL look bad, air quotes bad, but it also is a cautionary tale for what could go wrong if the NFL doesn't get its act together and be creative and be aggressive and come up with solutions before the scenario that I've laid out in Big Shield comes to fruition. In-game wagering is quite popular, you know, so that's for instance, this Cleveland Guardians pitcher, Luis Ortiz, I think you wrote about it at PFT, where he's away from Cleveland right now while they investigate an in-game scenario where, like, you can do wagers on batter by batter. So does this guy strike out? Does he get a hit? Does he walk? And there was irregular wagering, or too large in the estimation of some, with the prop wagering, from a prop wagering standpoint, on Ortiz walking a guy. Well, two of the pitches he threw, man, bounced 10 feet in front of the catcher. And then there was another prop that he's going to hit somebody, and he did. So, like, he's away from Cleveland now because of irregular wagering patterns involving pitcher Luis Ortiz. And in-game wagering, that's something they're going to be looking at, right? Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not really, because it becomes clear in Chapter 1 that's what this third-string quarterback for Las Vegas of the fictional Professional Football League is doing. In-game betting all the way down to the micro of each play, as simple as, is it going to be a run or is it going to be a pass? And I know from people I talked to connected to the NFL when the Supreme Court first opened the floodgates for state-by-state legalized betting programs, one of the concerns they had was what kind of signals could people on the sideline who know what the next play is going to be making to those who could see that signal and lock in the bet as simple as run versus pass. And for the player who has been corrupted, that becomes like the culmination of the inside information he's providing. And it's set in the not too distant future where there are 20 regular season games, 36 NFL teams. Every game is streaming, and you can pull up multiple camera angles, and this guy's very adept at getting in the shot right behind the head coach so he can do his thing where he grabs his face mask and lets go if it's a run. He puts his hand on the face mask and leaves it there if it's a pass. It's that simple. I mean, this is low-tech, idiotic stuff, but if you give somebody who's got the high-tech device in their hand who's watching that real-time stream, and that's been one of the technological impediments, how real-time is the information that's coming through. They're perfecting that technology. If you've got somebody who's got access to that, boom, they lock in the bet, run versus pass, and you got a whole crew of people who are doing that, and you're cleaning up one play after another. So that's the world that this book envisions, and it's not there yet in full bloom. So, at some point it will be, and that's going to be a very easy way for someone to rig the system in their favor if they have someone on the inside providing that signal before each play as to what's coming next.
Our 2+ decade friend, Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com, has a new book. It's called Big Shield. It arrives August 19th. It's a fictional tale of the mob and gambling and professional football, not the NFL, just professional football. And you can attain the ebook or paperback right now by searching Big Shield on Amazon, or maybe head to ProFootballTalk.com to learn more.
And it really is dumb that I'm doing the ebook for 99 cents. I just want to promote reading for enjoyment. I've told you this before.
Mm-hmm.
We're forced to read stuff we don't want to read in school, and I hated reading. And when I discovered it years later as something that is a nice diversion from just the day-to-day grind, it's like, hey, this is actually pretty good. So that's why I started doing these ebooks for 99 cents. The print edition's $14.99 because paper ain't free. But it really is stupid to sell these things for 99 cents. It really is dumb. Like, why am I doing it? But it's okay. If people read it and enjoy it, that's the gratification. The money is immaterial. Football's been very good to me. Writing about football in this context, if it's not as great financially, it'll be great if people read it and enjoy it.
Lastly on this, then maybe one on another topic.
I thought we were supposed to talk about the real NFL, not the fake NFL. But that's okay.
We will.
If people buy the book, I'm not going to complain.
Plenty.
If you want to make this a 15-minute commercial for Big Shield, I got no problem with that.
We got plenty. I mean, the Vikings have a preseason game a month from Saturday, so all of it's coming at us very, very quickly, so we have plenty of time for that. What would you consider teams tanking to be a form of game fixing? I mean, manipulating their personnel, their rosters, so they can lose games and find their best route to Cam Ward. Would you consider that game fixing?
Look, and the NFL ignores the connection between finishing low in the standings and finishing high in the draft order. And they never want anyone to talk about it. I think that's why they'd never have a draft lottery, even though it would be a massive off-season revenue-generating tentpole for the league, to have a lottery where you come up with a system like the NBA or the NHL has, but they don't want anyone to ever notice that there is a clear connection. I mean, look at what the Patriots did. And the Bills, it is believed, deliberately tried to lose the Week 18 game against the Patriots because they didn't want the Patriots to have the first overall pick in the draft.
Right.
They didn't play Josh Allen. They started Mitchell Trubisky, and then while they were down 17-16, late in the third quarter, they removed Trubisky for Mike White, I think. And, why? Why are you saving Mitch Trubisky for the playoffs? Why don't you let Trubisky finish the game and, play a game in crunch time and try to get a win here? There was a widespread belief before that game started that the Bills wanted to lose that game to keep. So it was like anti-tanking, tanking to prevent tanking. So it's a very real temptation. There are certain coaches who are firmly convinced it is something that is dramatically opposed to trying to win. You can't have a winning culture if you try to lose. But it's as simple as, coaches are never going to try to lose. Players are never going to try to lose. No, but if the owner says, I want to see what the third-string quarterback looks like, that's how you tank. You don't tank by telling the players to not play their best. You tank by putting less than the best players on the field. And that definitely happened in a Buccaneers-Saints game late 2014 as the Bucs were trying to get the Jameis Winston pick. Sean Payton tells a great story about how the Bucs emptied the bench, and he's got his headset on because he has people tell him, 28's in for 25, and they were rattling them off like bingo numbers. They took out half the starting lineup when the Bucs were up 11 points going against the Saints in the second half of that game because the Bucs needed to lose that game, and they did.
Jeez. Last one, Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. Netflix, second season of Quarterbacks. Nordo and I watched episode 1 last evening. It features Kirk Cousins, beloved Kirk O'Chains.
Oh, my God! Kirk O'Chains!
Joe Burrow and Jared Goff. I've only watched one episode. Maybe you've watched the full season. You do things like that. It's phenomenal. I mean, this is going to be really good. What do you think?
Well, I haven't finished it yet, but that first episode, very compelling because Kirk Cousins finally answers the question, sort of, as to if he would have made a different decision about free agency if he'd known the Falcons were going to take Michael Penix with the 8th overall pick in the draft. He said when he was asked about it at the time, I don't like to deal in hypotheticals. He really peeled back the curtain for the quarterback cameras and microphones, and he almost said, and I think he didn't need to say it based upon what he did say, that he wouldn't have signed with the Falcons if he'd known they were going to take Michael Penix with the 8th overall pick. Now, he did get $100 million fully guaranteed.
Yep.
So even though, he wasn't getting the playing commitment that came with the financial commitment, I think he thought they were one and the same. It probably would have been hard for him to turn down $100 million guaranteed as a practical matter. It was $90 million fully guaranteed at signing with another $10 million that vested earlier this year. Probably would have been hard for him to turn that down, but he was getting the same playing commitment. If he would have known what the Falcons were going to do, it would have been Vikings going top 10 quarterback, Falcons going top 10 quarterback, make your pick. And I think if he also would have known how different the offense would have been, I thought that was fascinating. All the motions and the shifts and how it screwed up that key play in week 1 against the Steelers when he put the tight end in motion at the wrong time and the snap hit the tight end. That's all a product of going to a new team with a brand new offense and a brand new everything, and you got to learn all that on the fly. And I think it's one of those be careful what you wish for situations.
Hey, my man, good luck with Big Shield. I'll call you in a few weeks after some vocal maintenance days, and then we'll crank it up for the 2025 football season. Thank you very much,
See you,
Mike.
Paul. Thank you, buddy.
That's Mike Florio, author and constructor and inventor and creator of ProFootballTalk.com. That book is called Big Shield. 10:02, you're listening to 9 to Noon at FM 100.3 KFAN.
Every day has a to-do list, but adding Enjoy Belvita to yours can help you knock out the rest of it. Belvita breakfast biscuits are a tasty and convenient breakfast option when paired with low-fat yogurt and fruit that provides steady energy all morning. While Belvita Energy Snack Bites give you the perfect mid-morning refuel. Best part, they both taste great. So make the most out of your morning with a bite of Belvita. Pick up a pack of Belvita at your local store today.
This Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th, you can get a great deal on a new foot spa, transforming you into the queen of kicking it.
Wait, this has bubble jets. Okay.
Shop great deals this Prime Day, July 8th through the 11th.
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.